these are the 6 boards that Alpenglow Sports has chosen for the 26-27 season. These boards allow us to execute a philosophy that will help us meet any rider where they're at and have an option for every rider. I'm recording this in February 2026, and so far this winter, Alpenglow Sports has posted multi-part episodic reviews of each of these boards, and I'm linking those in the descriptions. But what I will do is I will start with the one-liner for each of these boards, as that will build a quick understanding of what we have here, and also probably elicit some curiosity. The one-liners will only make sense once we get into the philosophy and you see how all of this comes together. So let's get started. This, the Jones Ultralight Butterfly, is the best split board ever made. Yet this, the Jones Howler Split, is my #1 recommendation. The United Shapes Covert beats the Jones solution every single time, yet Jones' cheapest split board, the Frontier 2.0 or Dreamweaver, is better than the next brand's flagship model. The United Shapes Deep Reach S is better than the Hovercraft 2.0, and yet the Jones Ultralight Hovercraft 2.0 is the best soft snowboard you can buy. So I'll need you to hold some opposing truths in your mind for just a little bit so that we can get to the philosophy and make sense of all of this. You might be able to tell that making YouTube videos is not really my jam. I don't know how to make this mic work without plugging it in, and I clearly don't have an extension cord. So just bear with me here. I'm gonna regroup these boards and I think you'll start to see what I'm getting at. The philosophy is that there are 3 fundamental shapes that any splitboarder can add to their quiver at any time. The first is the Camber Crusher, these 2 boards here. The second is Freeride Versatility, these 2 boards here. And the last shape is the soft snow shape. These 3 shapes exemplify splitboarding in 2027 and offer things that we haven't had in prior years, which should simplify your choices. And that's really the Alpenglow Sports way, to curate the whole world of splitboarding down to just the products that work. And the reason we have 2 options for every shape is so that we can meet you where you're at. What's emerging on either end of this spectrum is Alpenglow Sports' strong preference for Jones ultralight construction boards. The Ultralight Butterfly and the Ultralight Hovercraft 2.0 are the lightest split boards on the market, and they provide a really unique experience that frankly I've talked so much about, but I will touch briefly on today. And what's new this season for us is offering a full fat version, a heavyweight option for these 2 shapes that matches the promise of these ultralight boards, but is more affordable and maybe better for a daily driver. So for our Camber Crusher and our soft snow shape, we're gonna have a heavyweight and a lightweight option. What's happening here in the middle is the simple truth that Freeride Versatility is the one board you should own if you can only own one. And these 2 options will meet you where you're at. For the expert rider, the United Shapes Covert. For the new rider, the Frontier 2.0 or Dreamweaver 2.0. I don't think that there is an ultralight version of Freeride Versatility that really delivers on the promises as much as an ultralight POW board and an ultralight camber board. Hence a little bit of a different philosophy right here in the middle. So let's get into it. I'm gonna walk through each board, its strengths, its weaknesses, and how you might choose. Choosing is something you can do today because Alpenglow Sports is pre-selling all of these boards starting now in February 2026, all the way through the beginning of the season, as all of our boards get delivered in September. So you have between now and then to secure your board before they're opened up to the public at Alpenglow Sports. So let's start with the greatest split board ever made. It's the Ultralight Butterfly. Ultralight Butterfly was kind of a genre-defining board in that it was the first ultralight shape from Jones, and it's the only Jones ultralight shape that was built from the ground up for the ultralight construction. That's turned it into one of the most confidence-inspiring ultralight boards. It's not soft, it doesn't chatter, it's not noodly, it's exceptional. And I've ridden it more than any board here. I think it probably shows. The Ultralight Butterfly is a full camber board with a very long effective edge. It has the effective edge of a 169 centimeter board, even in a 154 centimeter package. Frankly, it was the first camber board I had ridden in a very long time, and I found that so refreshing, so confidence inspiring, and it brought a lot of energy to my splitboarding that I desperately needed. And I think the reason we haven't been riding a lot of camber boards is not a lot of people can make a camber board that rides really well. And Jones does. Jones does by using their 3D contour base, by using the traction tech, by using the boltless bridge. This board rides fantastically well in almost all conditions. So the most exciting thing that's happening next season is bringing a camber shape and a lot of what was learned in this board into a heavyweight slugger of a board, which is the Howler Split. This board's my #1 recommendation because you likely don't own a camber split, and because this split delivers all of those benefits in a more affordable, more durable package. So again, we have a full camber board. In the tip, we have a 3D contour base and this flip tip, which gives the board great float and really just solidifies the board when you're landing, when you're airing, when you're turning. It's a really stable platform. The tail, however, is perfectly flat, and that's where you get incredible power and drive. Making big arcing turns on this board is an absolute riot because you have such power through the tail. I think the big lesson learned with this board going into next season is that it's not a pro level board. It's not a freestyle only board. It's very much a freestyle board. The pro level DNA is in there, but I think the Howler is for everyone. And so the Howler is my #1 recommendation because you don't have a board like this, because it delivers a unique riding style that's just fun and enjoyable, and because it's ended up a lot more friendly than we originally thought. And if I could only pick up one board next season, it would be this one. This board is available in 158, 160 wide, and 161 for men, and 148 and 151 for women. Next up, we have the United Shapes Covert. This is a board that is redesigned for the 26-27 season, thanks to some input from Nick Russell, who has redefined the flex in tip and tail to bring even more big mountain versatility. The Covert really is the most versatile board here and makes probably the best daily driver. I ride the 157 and I've always loved how generous it is on waist width, 26.4 centimeters. It's got a 7.7 meter side cut. It's set back 2.4 centimeters with 1.5 centimeters of taper and 4 millimeters of camber. So here we have your classic camber and rocker shape. We have some power thanks to a deeper camber pocket, and we have so much versatility throughout. This is a board that's super fun on a POW day and thrives in the big mountains. It's a board that will not let you down, and if you can only have one, it should be this. So we chose the Covert for how it rides. Why did we choose the Frontier 2.0 and Dreamweaver? I mentioned this board is better than the next brand's flagship model, and that's because Jones' cheapest split board comes with all their high-end tech. We talked about how a 3D contour base and traction tech and a boltless bridge make these boards ride fantastically well. Well, this board has all of that tech, and it's like $200 cheaper than a Covert. So if we're just talking features, it's a better board. But what we also have here is a ride that none of these boards offer, which is that soft, playful, easy riding board that makes it an excellent choice for new split boarders or folks that are looking for maybe a more traditional, fun-oriented daily driver. I think this board feels incredibly familiar to folks that are coming out of the ski resort, used to riding pretty standard shapes, and this board just won't surprise you. This board is really easy to initiate turns, it's really easy to keep under control, and it's really fun in deep snow. It certainly has a narrower waist width, it tapers less than many of these other boards, and the flex is softer than any board here. But that doesn't mean you should count it out. This season, so 25-26, I replaced my entire demo fleet of Solutions with Frontiers, and people have been coming back to the shop way more stoked on their days out than they ever have. That Solution was not a board that people really got a lot out of, and the Frontier is a board that works. I also find the Frontiers are just very well made. They have some fantastic tech, and I really enjoyed the 2 weeks I spent riding this board in size 159. So for your first split board or for a soft, enjoyable option, choose the Frontier 2.0. The Deep Reach Split is better than the Hovercraft because it doesn't try to be a bunch of different things. This is a pure soft snow shape. There is incredible early rise in this tip. It's got a 3 millimeter camber pocket, a softer flex, and an 8 meter turn radius. Stance is set back 2.3 centimeters, 2 centimeters of taper, which, if you ask me, makes it the perfect powder board. It's offered in 156 and 159. I would size up as a dedicated POW board, and maybe run the 156 if you're looking for POW board plus. The deep reach split is that heavyweight option for your soft snow shape. That extra heft makes it a little bit more versatile. Sure, there might be soft snow up high, but your exit might be heinous. This is a board that gets you through both without chattering while holding an edge, yet being an absolute riot in the soft snow. So look to the deep reach as a very fun soft snow shape from United Shapes. And lastly, we have the Ultralight Hovercraft 2.0. This is a board I've been riding for 2 years and I'm just bringing to Alpenglow Sports for the first time. I ride this board in 160, meaning I'm going for maximum flotation. This is a board that makes low angle, deep days really fun. I ride this board on my front foot, even in the deepest POW, and yet it's always really impressed us in the big mountains as well. This board has the longest turn radius of any here, 9 meters, 2 centimeters of taper, and a 26.6 centimeter waist width, which delivers a board that floats great. It's got the most flotation of any Jones snowboard, but also rides with some power, with some confidence, with some heft that you wouldn't expect from a soft snow shape. This is the best POW board that you can buy because of its lightweight construction. For me, like the hardest, the biggest day of every year is not the big East Side adventure, it's the thigh deep POW day on the West Shore. And this is a board that can save you a full pound underfoot compared to any of these other shapes. There's a US military study that saving a pound underfoot is like saving 5 pounds in your pack from a fatigue perspective. So this board turns that epic POW day from a 1 lap slog to a 2 or 3 or 4 lap success. But it's a board that you might not ride every single day, as the incredible rocker and kind of limited camber of both of these boards really can leave you skittering down the mountain in places where you really want the most confidence. So look to the Ultralight Hovercraft 2.0 as your soft snow shape in an ultralight construction. And so that's the quiver at Alpenglow Sports this season. I'm really proud of this selection and worked hard to choose these boards. You know, it's February 2026. We're having kind of a low snow year up to this point, and I committed to ride every single one of these boards this season. I rode over 100 laps on these boards, and every single one of them has passed. Basically, they deliver what I was looking for, which is a way to offer a camber shape, a freeride board, and a soft snowboard to any rider, no matter their background or what they were riding currently. And I think that's what we have here. We have a full fat camber board and a lightweight camber board. We have an expert level freeride board and a beginner level freeride board. We have a full fat POW board and an ultralight soft snow shape. Alpenglow Sports is taking pre-orders for these boards, and we would be humbled to earn your business. Think of us as a full featured shop, meaning we have the bindings and boots you need to complete your kit. And I can be your guide if you're looking for something more specialized than what we're offering here. I have access to US Shapes and Jones full lineups. So if you do need that storm chaser, that solution, anything more specialized, we can get that for you as well. So join us at Alpenglow Sports with our new philosophy, 3 shapes and 2 options for each. These boards are available on alpenglowsports.com and on Alpenglow Sports in Tahoe City.